Oh, how is your evening? I am exhausted, as you can see, and I apologize for being lazy on this video, but I started my day today like I always do at 5 in the morning. Let me sit up. And so I had an interpretation assignment, which was about an hour and a half of drive away from me in the Central Valley. And this was for an educational IEP. So there was a total of 14 on-site participants, as well as 4 others over the phone. So for those of you who have done interpreting or are currently doing interpreting, you should know that these simultaneous interpretations can be very draining because there's a lot of terminology involved, including educational, psychological, medical, you name it. I mean, so they are touching on all areas, and having your brain function like, quick can be very, very draining. But again, I love doing simultaneous interpretations. I get a kick out of it. I don't know why. But anyhow, one of the things that I always remind interpreters is, try to get as much information prior to each assignment so that you can prepare yourself prior to the assignment. Prepare yourself with the terminology. Also try to get an agenda, the participants' names, because as you know, these type of events, they move fairly quickly, so you need to make sure that you have enough information on hand so when the assignment starts. Also making sure that, I'm sorry, my eyes feel like they're shutting down. That's how tired I am. Also making sure that you do your pre-session on any type of appointment, basically letting them know who you are, what you do, what your role is, and how you work. Giving them also the option, if you provide consecutive, simultaneous, and conference interpretation, giving the client, the participants, the option, especially the LAP, as far as, what method they want you to use, because believe it or not, it's important to make sure that they understand that they are able to hear every single detail, especially for these IEPs or any type of assignment, I should say. So today, what happened today? What happened today is that, again, there were so many participants. And one of the things that I come across all the time is when you have participants, professionals who also speak Spanish and understand, and they have a certain way of interpreting or communicating with the parents. And so one of the things that happened today is, again, a couple of them spoke Spanish, and they arrived a little bit late. So they arrived after the fact, after I did my pre-session and my introduction. So when we started, they walked in halfway into the session. And so they're like, okay, wait. They interrupted the speaker, and they're like, okay, we have an interpreter, and you guys need to, slow down and speak in small chunks so that the interpreter can do their job. And everybody looked at them like, oh, the interpreter has been interpreting for quite some time before you even got here. So, they're like, the interpreter's doing great. And so the Spanish professionals, they're like, well, it's making it difficult for the interpreter. So I said, no, I'm fine. I'm doing simultaneous interpretation. She's like, well, that's not how I provide assistance to the parents. I let the speaker speak before I start speaking. I said, yeah, that's consecutively, but I'm doing simultaneous because there's so many participants that if I did it consecutively, we would be here all day. So everybody chose to have me interpret simultaneously, and that's the method that I've used in the past, and the parents are very happy and content with that. She's like, oh, okay. So she asked the parent, just to confirm, which is fine. I mean, I didn't get offended by it. So halfway through, we took a little break, and in the break, she's like, "Oh my gosh, you were awesome. You are great. Your fluency in both in English and in Spanish. You're a great interpreter, and can I get your business card? Because at the school where I work, we need more professionals just like you, blah, blah, blah." She's like, "I want to get a contract out to you, and we want to use your services." And so I was, honored, and I felt very, to say the least, I was like, yeah, I know what I'm doing, and I'm doing a great job, obviously. So a couple of months ago at the same facility, I was able to land another contract with another school out of Los Angeles. And so obviously I'm doing something right, that I continue to get these contracts, all based on my performance, based on word of mouth, and based on how I do my work. So knowing what you're doing, showing that passion for what you're doing, because you can, it'll show when you're working. It'll show whether or not you love what you're doing, if you have a passion. And basically, that's how you're going to attract those additional customers. That's how you're going to attract people, and having people recommend your services. So for that matter, I hope some of these little tips here and there are helpful to you. Make sure that you're always prepared. Make sure that you do your pre-session. Make sure that you get an agenda, that you get the terminology down, prepare yourself prior to each assignment. And, again, represent yourself the best that you can, and do a great job, because trust me, that's what it's going to take to bring and attract additional customers. So today, not only was I praised for my work, but I was able to get another contract. So I walked out with happy customers and a new contract. And then on my way back into Sacramento, I got another call where basically they needed my services for an investigation, so a recorded statement. And so I went ahead. I can't say no, so I went ahead and took on this assignment. So that was even more draining, believe it or not. It was just, oh my God. I've worked with investigators. I've been working with investigators for over 18 years, and this is the first time where, I don't know if the investigator has never worked with an interpreter, that he was confused, and his train of thought just kept getting lost. I have no idea, but the recorded statement was supposed to be only for 45 minutes. You know how long it took? 2.5 hours. Yes. But at the end of the day, he was happy, the customer was happy, and the attorney was happy. So that's all that matters, that the job got done the best way possible. And when I got back home, I was also, I opened up my emails, and I had another couple of other contracts sitting in my inbox. So again, I love what I do. I have a passion for business, and I can help you attract, get your own clients, promote yourself so that you can get your own clients as well. Again, as an interpreter, I do help a few agencies here and there, but for the most part, I have my own customers who I provide on-site interpretation services as well as translation services. But I also provide interpreter training. In my trainings, I basically show you the do's and don'ts, what to do, what not to do, what it takes to become a professional interpreter, what type of training you need to do to get the terminology down, where you need to go as far as to get the training that you need if you want to become a court certified or medical certified interpreter. But more importantly, to have your own business, you need some business skills. So even if you don't have business skills, I will provide you with step-by-step guides, information on how to promote yourself, do your sales and marketing, get your contracts, basically outreach, social media, targeting, you name it. I will teach you from start to finish everything that I have done in these past 18 years to start and grow my business, I will share that with you. So trust me, I've been training interpreters for over 18 years. The majority of interpreters are now either court certified, they are working for the hospitals, they are in business for themselves. And I have not only trained interpreters here locally, but also remotely. I've also trained educational interpreters for certain school districts where I train all of their in-house interpreters. I teach them the terminologies, the do's and don'ts of the business, and how to do their job the best way possible. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we get the message across to the LEPs. So, if you are interested, swipe up, check my link in my bio, download your freebie, and hope this information helps. And I apologize again, I am beyond exhausted. So for those of you that have not been following me, I've been very, very sick. So I was out for some time, meaning that I wasn't out on the job. I wasn't out doing interpretations. I was just doing translations and online training. So being out in the field today and having to drive so far, it has drained me. And I always do this to myself, but I'm a business junkie. I love to work. And so every time I get a chance and I start feeling good, I'm out and about and doing what I love. So once again, my name is Faviola. I am a Spanish interpreter and entrepreneur and a former CEO who started her business from the ground up. I've been in business for over 18 years, and I am able to help you do what you love. So I will help you start, grow, decipher your business, and get you on the right track to grow your business and get your products, services out to the world. Have a great evening. I am going to go to bed and get some rest. Have a great day. Bye.